Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Row 82 here, your railroad archaeologist. Rocking my new merch. This new t-shirt, old school with a semaphore. If you're a railroad archaeologist, you gotta have this. 13 plus shipping and handling, guys. Along with my other ones like Voodoo Chicken, Fallen Flags, etc., etc. All inquiries, orders, row82 at AOL.com, guys. Please and thank you. So, in honor of this new shirt, I was doing some digging and some research, and I came across a 1926 Atlantic Coast Line ACL Employee Handbook rule book. So in this rule book are the semaphore signal aspects used by the ACL. So I'm gonna dissect them, break them down to you guys. All right. Check out the video. Let me know what you think. I always look forward to reading your comments. Remember, I drop videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. Always a pleasure, ladies and gents. Enjoy the video. What is a semaphore? A semaphore signal is one by which the aspect given by the position of a blade during the day and by color at night. Semaphore signals were originally illuminated by a kerosene lamp, and according to one source, a semaphore was patented in the 1840s by John James Stevens. So with this in mind, let's check out what ACL's rule book says about their aspects. And here we see the cover of the rule book. It's black. The title reads Atlantic Coast Line Railroad Company, and then it says rules and regulations of the operating department. In the very bottom it says November 1st, 1926. Cool. Okay, then the first page says Atlantic Coast Line Railroad Company rules of the same thing, rules and regulations for the government of operating department. And then the intro says the rules herein set forth govern the railroads operated by the Atlantic Coast Line Company. They take effect November 1st, 1926, superseding all previous rules and instructions and consistent therewith. So side note, this was also the case when I used to work in FEC. Every day, not every 2 or 3 days every week, but every single day when you walked into the yard, you'd have to check the board for bulletins to add to your rule book. Like so let's say you're a conductor, right? And you miss that there's track work being done in whatever mile marker and your train just goes through it. Oh man, that's going to be the crap hitting the fan. So then it reads here, special instructions may be issued by proper authority, signed by P.R. Albright, Vice President and General Manager. Okay, now we're going to step into the signals themselves. The first one, you see the illustration, which is a red flashing light and the blades down. Or, yeah, it says name, which is the name of that aspect, is the stop signal, and the indication is stop and receive train orders. Then you have the second signal aspect in the book, which is a flashing yellow light with one blade about a 45-degree angle and another blade completely down, or 90-degree angle. The name of that would be a restricting signal, and the indication would be to receive train orders without stopping. Next we have the flashing green light with one blade vertical and one blade horizontal. That's a clear signal, and the indication is to proceed. Next we have the stop signal, which on the left hand side would be flashing reds with the blade horizontal, or a dwarf signal with a flashing bluish light and the blade down. Then we have this one. Such is the case, an FEC, and a guy that works for CSX told me the same thing. So when you have a flashing red with a number plate, i.e. milepost, you can stop and proceed. So yes, 99.9% of the times when you see a red, it's going to be stop. However, the exception to that rule is the number plate. So stop and proceed signal, and then the indication is stop, then proceed in accordance with rule 509. So I'm glad to see that in nearly 100 years, railroading hasn't changed all that much. Now we're going to come up on the approach signal, which is on the left-hand side. You have your solid yellow with a 45-degree blade and a flashing red with a horizontal blade. On the right-hand side, you have a solid yellow with a 45-degree blade. And these are approach signals. The indication would be proceed at a speed to not exceed 1/2 the maximum authorized. Prepare to stop at the next signal. Simple enough. Prepare to stop at the next signal. Yeah, if you're ever a train conductor, that's going to be etched into your brain. Prepare to stop at the next signal. Okay, then we have a series of 3 signals here. Flashing green on all 3 of them. The first one has a flashing red with a horizontal blade. The second one has a number plate, and the third one is just a flashing green. So these are all clear signals. Indication is to proceed. Our next one is a grade signal. So I don't think this would apply to Florida because I think this might have to do with hills and mountains, but I could be mistaken. Let's see. A grade signal, and the biggest distinguishing factor of this one is that G tag in the bottom of the mast. So the grade signal is for tonnage freight trains, proceed under full control, expecting to find a train in the block, broken rail, or obstruction or switch not properly set. Oh, I guess it doesn't have to do with hills. For other trains, stop, then proceed in accordance with Rule 509. All right, and that's notated by a flashing red, horizontal blade, the yellow on the left, and the G on the bottom. Alrighty, then we have the clear restricting signal. So we have a flashing red, horizontal blade, green on the bottom, flashing, vertical blade. That is a clear restricting signal, and proceed at restricted speed. It's funny because I haven't noticed any diverging signals yet. Like, so in the FEC, you had your top signal and then your second signal on the bottom. That one would always pertain to when you were going to go on a siding or a spur. I haven't seen any of that here yet. I wonder what the deal is with that. Okay, so our next aspect is a slow speed signal. You have a red flashing horizontal blade, solid yellow 45-degree blade. That's a slow speed signal. Proceed at slow speed, prepare to stop. And then you also have a dwarf signal with a solid yellow and a 45-degree blade. Our next aspect is a distant caution signal. That's a flashing yellow with a 45-degree blade. The indication of that would be to approach to next signal at restricted speed, be prepared to stop. Again, I haven't seen any, wow. Okay. This is the answer to my question. I guess they saved the best for last. So this would be a take sighting indicator. It was just notated by an S, and the indication would be take sighting. Wow, so it begs the question, like, how do they? This seems like something fixed. If there's no electronics here, how do they switch that on the demand of the track or based on track conditions or whatnot? Very interesting. If any of you guys know that out there, please comment below. I'd love to know. And these are all the aspects used by ACL in 1926, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Leave me a comment. I look forward to reading them. Remember, I drop videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and please help me with the shirts. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Bye bye.